Hello and welcome back to Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Jenny, filling in for Whitney again. Happy to have you guys back. Just want to share with you one quick announcement before we get started today. Pattern Fitting 101 is still open for enrollment until Friday, September 26th at midnight Eastern, and that's New York time for our worldwide friends. And all the information can be found at www.tomcatstitchery.com/PF101. Just jump over there. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us with the contact form and we'll get those questions answered for you. Okay, first off, I want to share with you Whitney sends her love. She misses all of you. She misses everything, and she will be back soon. And in the meantime, she's like, hey, Jenny, if you need anything, go to the sewing room. Just grab it, take what you need. And I was like, hey, perfect. I'm working on my Style Art Teddy Precious Fabric Challenge shirt, and I'm out of interfacing. Who knew, right? So I was like, okay, I'll just run over to the sewing space and grab some interfacing and go work on my shirt. And then I was here and I was thinking, gosh, you know what? There's a lot of things in here that I would really love to have in my sewing space. And you all have seen a studio tour of Whitney's space. And if you haven't, I highly suggest that you go back and look that up and see the beautiful setup she has, because she has lights. She's got a wonderful U-shaped work area with her serger and her industrial machine and her sewing machine. She's got her spools on the wall. It's colorful, it's bright, it's vibrant. It's Whitney just in a room. And so I was like, how do I make my space a little bit more like Whitney's? And for some context, my space is in a basement, and that basement has gone through many iterations. It started off as a kid's playroom and morphed into a gaming space, and then during COVID it was a workout space, and now it's coming into a sewing space. And I was like, gosh, what could I do? How could I outfit my space a little bit more like Whitney's? And so I kind of walked around the room and made a little mental list, and I wanted to share that list with you today. But first, I did get the interfacing. I grabbed it out of the drawer. We order our interfacing from a company called Thermo Web, and this is the Heat and Bond medium weight weft fusible interfacing for garment sewing. And we probably go through this a little bit faster than the average person would, because we do sew a lot of garments here, but this is something that I was out of, and if you need to grab it, there is a link over at our website, and that's at www.tomcatstitchery.com/resources, and the links of everything I'm going to talk to you about there, they're all over there, so no worries, we'll link them below. You can go look at the website anytime you forget them. But I grabbed this, so I'm going to just stick it in my pocket. Doesn't really fit, but I'm going to keep this and go home and sew my shirt. And then I was like, well, you know what? There's some things that I do have here in Whitney's space, or we do have replicates, because I was influenced by her. She's like, oh, you have to get these. This is going to make your life so much easier. And it's true what they say about having the right tools makes the job easier. And so if you are thinking about making your job a little easier, I would love to share with you these tools that we have. And the first one that we have, I don't know how everyone has a pair of scissors, right? And you can go to Target and you can buy a pair of scissors for $3. You can go to a fancy place with scissors and knives and get a $300 pair of scissors. And what's really the difference? Well, there's a difference, let me tell you, because we have come across Kai scissors, and Kai scissors are, they're lightweight. They are easy on the hands, and they are crazy sharp, crazy sharp. And so Whitney got the professional set. This is the 7000 set, and it has three pairs of scissors in it. And the medium one we keep by the sewing machine so we can snip threads. That's great. This one we keep on the cutting table to get around any edges in the pattern or that maybe we didn't hit with the rotary cutter. They also have rotary blades. But this is something I was influenced by, and I have a set of these scissors myself. If you want a little bit of a closer up look at them, they're fantastic. Love them. This would make a great gift if Christmas is coming and you need to replace your scissors. I would put this on my Christmas list if I didn't already have them. So that is one thing that I have been influenced by Whitney. Another thing that I've been influenced by Whitney's Sewing Space is a really good iron. Now, I am the kind of person who would buy an iron at the Dollar General for $10 and be like, it's an iron. What magical thing is going to make a hot metal piece any different than other? Well, I am wrong, because there is a magical thing that makes a proper iron way better than one you get for 10 bucks. And I have to share with you this Aliso iron. I was kind of skeptical at first because I was like, it's pretty expensive. And I mean, it's just an iron. It's just hot and steamy. But when I tried it side by side with my discount iron and this iron, I'm never using that other iron again. I kept it just in case, you know, and also if my kids need an iron and they want to iron some pants, they can use that Dollar General iron. But this one is amazing because the steam that it puts out is fantastic. The heat is amazing. It really irons well. It's lightweight. I'm holding it here with 2 fingers, okay? So it's super light. And then the other thing, now it's not plugged in. The other thing that I really like about it is that on the bottom of it are these little feet that come out when you set it on a table. So if it was on a table, it would be hovering, and the heat plate wouldn't be down. And this was designed to reduce the stress of lifting up your iron, and you press, and you lift it up. And that kind of gets a little hard on the wrist after a while. And this is fantastic because as soon as you release the handle when it's plugged in, those feet come down. When you pick up the handle, the feet go up so you can press away. You could just, you know, leave it on your fabric and lift it up if you wanted to. There's a wool mat that comes with them, and that's what I put mine on. I just keep the wool mat to the side and set the earth to the side and put it on the iron on it, and then I use my ironing surface. Highly recommend. Again, we've got a link on our website that you can go grab these, and they come in fun colors too. Like there's a tangerine and there's a teal and there's this pretty yellow, and a couple other different designs. I put it on your Christmas list if you don't have one. Good iron to have in your sewing space. And then I'm walking around and I'm like, okay, what else would I like in my sewing space? You know, I've got a machine and I've got my serger, and they're nothing fancy. I mean, my serger is a secondhand serger, and I have a very entry-level machine that does everything that I need it to. Now, will it sew through 8 layers of denim? No, that's when I come here. But for the most part, it gets everything done that I want to get done. But some of the finishing things that Whitney has here makes it so much fun to do bigger projects. And I pulled out her bluegrass dress from Love Notions. This is a pattern that was released, oh gosh, I think in May. And you could put buttons on it, but she opted for snaps. And I love it because I think it really just makes the whole like Western theme kind of pop on it. But these snaps, we're using a snap press, and I grabbed it here. I grabbed hers. You guys have seen her snap press. She's made a tutorial on how she uses it and all this stuff. I don't know a ton about this machine other than it's marked with DZN tools, and it comes with a bunch of dies, and it's like nothing. It's like takes 2 seconds to put a snap on something. You just press it in and it goes. I know that it's an investment, but it's also a really simple tool that you're going to have and you're going to be able to pass along to a sewist or two in the future when you're through using it, because it's not a lot to it, but it's a powerful tool. And that's why I like it. So I used it on a coat that I made last year. It was a seamwork, I think it was a seamwork Parker jacket. I put snaps on mine and it was fun. I mean, it was just like, look at that. I mean, we're snaps. So I think you can get dies that are small. So if you're making baby clothes, maybe like the little onesies that snap at the bottom, this would be a good tool to have. So that's another thing I would grab out of Whitney's sewing space. I have been known to sew here with Whitney. She has enough machines for both of us. And we were both sewing on chairs that just kind of showed up in our spaces from our kids, right? So when your kid's about middle school, they start getting homework, and then you got to set up a little desk space for them, and you got to give them a little chair. And so I'm sure that I went to Target or IKEA and bought a chair for under 20 bucks, a little plastic desk chair, and somehow that's morphed into my sewing chair. It's uncomfortable. It does not really get as tall as I need it to, but it's there and I use it. And Whitney was in a similar situation until this chair came into her life. And this chair is a delight. It's from Arrow Sewing Furniture. And she talked about it in a previous video when she was setting up her new table. But I have been known to steal this chair from her. And there's two reasons why I steal this chair. The first reason is that the height telescopes. So it's high enough for my longer legs and she can lower it down for her little shorty legs. And then the other thing I want to show you is that this chair, when you sit in it, it hits right at that low back. So you're sitting and you're sewing, but you get that low back support that my little IKEA office chair doesn't give me. And I mean, look at that right there. Pretty sweet, huh? And it comes in a lot of colors. You can get the Whitney sewing room style. I mean, I don't know what this pattern is, but you know, it's got all the sewing notions on it. It's fun, it's pretty. And the other fun thing is that it opens for storage. And I have found where Whitney has hidden her chocolate, her candy. Her candy bars are in here hiding. We know your secret now, Whitney. We know your secret. But it's a great little chair. And like I said, you can raise it and lower it and it hits the lower back right. We do have a code for Arrow Furniture and it is Tomcat20 for 20% off. So if you are browsing a chair, you're going to want to throw this on there. Again, links are over at our website. And then finally, the other thing that I actually might just pocket, or not necessarily pocket, but put in my car while she's away from the sewing studio, is this lamp. This is a new addition to the sewing space. And as I mentioned, my basement is just your typical Midwestern basement. You know, we've got some fluorescent lights down there and it's got some drywall, but it's not necessarily the brightest place in the world. And as we age, sometimes our eyesight wanes a bit, and I am definitely noticing that I like working in a brighter space than a dimmer space. It's a little easier on my eyes. And so I have this whole rig set up. I've got an old work lamp over my table. I bought a off-brand light from Amazon, probably for $30, and that's hanging over. And then my machines have lights on them, and I have all the lights on in the room, and it just doesn't seem like enough. And then this thing popped up, and I told her, I was like, you better chain that down because I am going to come and get it. This lamp is from Honeywell, and I'm going to turn it on. And I hope you can see what a difference that makes on camera. This is an artist lamp, and Whitney got it. It has, okay, let me tell you the actual name of it. So if you want to Google it, it is the Honeywell 05D01 artist lamp. And I got a link over at the website, and there's a link in the description box. But this lamp has a cool setting and a warm setting, and you can dim it or you can brighten it up. And I don't want to play with it on camera because who wants to watch me play with a light on camera? Boring. But I'm going to tell you, it is the difference between, it is literally a night and day difference having this at a workspace. She was showing me with some fabric and some thread how she could see how well the thread matched. And you know, the 3 threads that she pulled off, the 3 colors of thread, it matched fine, like no big deal. But when we turned this lamp on it, there was definitely like, oh no, that one does not match. We got to get rid of that piece of thread. And she was able to find like a perfect match from her thread inventory to match this fabric. This is beautiful. And also, if you live in a cloudy area like Indiana in the wintertime in about November, we lose the sun. And this is a great artificial sun to have. If you find yourself sewing with navy or black and then you have to unpick a seam or something, I may have done that recently. This is a great lamp to have. So that may be coming home with me while she's away from the sewing studio. I would love to know what's in your sewing space. What things would you recommend that I put into my space to kind of round out the perfect set of tools? So let me know in the comments. And if you are not a subscriber, we'd love if you hit that subscribe button. and I will be back soon. Have a great week. Happy sewing.